We like the students to be looking the same. And the reason that we want them to be the same is we want them to be identifiable, that they are our students. There's a lot of competition out there with different organizations. And we want them to know, oh, that's a Health Careers Academy student. We want them identified. We want them to feel like they are all the same and to be treated the same. If they want to be treated any different, it's the way that they're going to present themselves. So we like the uniformity of it, and they feel like, yep, that's my friend. That's my compadre. That's my peer. And that's part of this group, that's part of the family. So we're all looking the same, and we desire that, so that there's no person who's trying to outdress another or outlook anybody else. We're very conservative, and that's the approach that we want to take. The internship piece, first of all, what they do is the first level is the junior level, they're shadowing. So when they shadow, they're shadowing throughout the year at least 30 different professions in the hospital. And it could be everything from the dietary department, biomedical engineering, to the nursing, to the radiology, all the way up to the surgeon, to L&D, to NICU. When they've done the rotation through everything, then they get to choose what we call their wish list. And this is an area that they really find that they were the most interested in. At that point, then they get to select, this is the area I want to go into, and then we do everything we can over the different 3 weeks of rotations to put them in that area, and then they become so much a part of the staff. Because the staff is like, oh, I'm going to see you again and again and again, and it builds that skill-based knowledge, it builds the confidence level of what they can do, that the staff starts to entrust them. That happens in the junior year. The senior year, if they continue on with us, then they interview for the areas that they want. We actually have our students the opportunity to branch over into veterinary medicine, because some of them really want to work with the animals, but we tell them you got to learn some human stuff before you can go play with the critters. And so what they do is they get to interview. We branch everything from dentistry, veterinary, ophthalmology, chiropractic, physical therapy, specialty areas, cardiology, all over the place. And we have a variation of different areas that they can intern. With that internship piece, they're eligible to sit for their medical assisting certification by the state of California. Our classes are rather large. We have about 60 students in our morning session and our PM session, so that requires 2 of us. So there's another teacher that teaches alongside of me. The first 8 to 12 weeks of the class, all we're doing at that point is teaching them basic medical practice that they would need to know. They have to go through background checks, live scanning through DOJ. We have to review all of their healthcare immunizations, because they have to be over and above what is required of them to be in school setting of immunizations. That is all done in those first 8 weeks, getting them into their scrubs, getting them their ID badges, getting them to the standard protocol of what is required of how to address them being into a medical setting. What we do with that is, because there's so many at one time, we split ourselves up. So I would take 30 of them, and the other instructor would take 30, and then we would go to different facilities. And those 2 facilities we do the first semester could be anywhere from a convalescent home to an assisted living to a medical clinic per the county. And this gives them different exposure to the different types of people they're going to see in those settings. And this is very much of an eye-opener to a lot of the students, because some of these students have never been in a medical facility at all. So that is going to get them the opportunity to see what kind of patients that they may be dealing with if they go into the healthcare profession. After that, then we split into the 2 major hospitals in the Antelope Valley, and again, we're doing the 30 and 30 both rounds. And we put them through a variety of all the different types of settings. They could be anywhere from shadowing the dietary person, up to the radiologist, up to the physical therapist, to the nurse, to a surgeon, also in security. They may have them shadowing them as well. So they're in different aspects, and they're rotating every single day that they're in rotations, and in rotations 2 days a week. So when they're there an hour and a half each time, they're seeing something completely different with somebody different. And that's giving them the different exposure to the healthcare professions. One of the aspects that I think has helped the Academy to continuously be successful, and as they started this, is volunteering. And we do countless and countless hours every year in the volunteering in the community. And a lot of that is with names like American Cancer Society or the MS. We find if there's something that the hospital's putting on, like a health fair, we say we can volunteer the kids for that. And they like that idea. And when we were able to do that, it kind of started putting a name on us, like, hey, let's get those kids. Like, we were just approached, one of the hospitals is running a disaster drill. So they don't want to use their real patients, so they've asked, can we use your patients, your students as our patients? So I think the community piece is giving back to the community, and that's what we tell the students is you need to give back to the people who are investing in you. And that's the return that we get from that. So whenever there's a volunteer opportunity that's come up, whether it's doing blood drives, whether it be projects that we've done here through the Academy, which continuously go on and on and on, we put our names out there and we're like, we're available to anybody for anything that they may need. And they're not specific. If you want us to pick up trash, we'll pick up trash. If you want us to park cars, we'll park cars. We don't park them, we direct them. But anything like that, the kids, I think what also puts a relationship to that is we're not afraid to do that ourselves. So if we want the kids to do it, we're going to do it. And I think that the relationship that the community sees for that is what has helped us continuously be successful. And that's something I think anybody, if they're looking to really do, you got to put an investment back into your community. And that's how you're going to get them to invest in you. And that relationship just continuously grows and grows and grows and grows and grows. You can't do this without the industry people in any way. And our community knows very, very much of us. That's why we want them to look the same. We want them to identify they're a Health Careers Academy student, because they can go and ask them anything at any point in time, and we know they're going to say the truth about things. And that's what I think makes one of the beauty of the successes of our academy, and will continue to thrive. As being an instructor and being in the clinical setting, it is very warming to your heart to see your former student who's now a healthcare provider, who's teaching your intern, who's in teaching your job shadower, and to see that relationship, that's more than any teacher could ask for. And there was a point in time I was on the floor with the nursing instructors from the local college, the RT instructors. There was actually more students on that floor than there were patients and healthcare providers. And as a teacher and as a former healthcare provider, I'm like, and that one's mine, and that one's mine, and that one's mine. And when you have that opportunity to have these people that are now, they were your former students, and they're now healthcare professionals, and they're like, okay, I remember what it was like being green, because I tell the kids it ain't easy being green. And they know that, and they take them along, and then they'll share all this with them. And that's something that I couldn't ask more for. And they're very proud of that. We have doctors that are like, hey, it was called this when I was in it, but now that's the same of you guys. Yeah, we're not the ones who started it. We won't take the claim of starting the program, but we're the ones that really help it go along and keep it going with our staff. But it's the students. We tell them, this is your academy. And that person's like, I was in that program. And they're comparing what they learned to what they're now learning. And the kids are like, I could be you. So seeing that and that healthcare provider who was one of your students, you're just like, man, that's such a success. That's wonderful. And a lot of them come back home. A lot of them come back to stay and work here. And they really see the investment that they made. And we're like, someday they'll come back and take our jobs. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm trying to groom him now, letting him pick which ones he want to come back, because I'm out before he is. And they're like, you mean I could do this? I'm like, sure. And they get excited. We bring a lot of them to come in and teach lessons that are healthcare providers. And we're teaching the respiratory lesson. I bring in RTs who are former students who are now licensed RTs. They teach that lesson. And the kids just like the idea because these people give up their time. And again, it goes back to, it ain't easy being green, but I sure did like it when I did it.
Former students, they actually come in and tell us like how it is after high school and them still being in the medical field. And then we also have others coming into the class telling us how their profession is and how to get there and what to do to achieve your goals as a healthcare professional.
So it wasn't anything, we don't have to pay them, we just, hey, would you like to go have a Starbucks with me someday to listen to their experience and what they're going through? And it's amazing to see how their growth has been phenomenal. And having sibling after sibling after sibling, it's just great. It's just wonderful.